You see this right here? Well, that is a lie. That is not what this tent weighs. If you're like me, you've actually been deceived over the years by tent manufacturers' tech specs and what they promise versus what they deliver. I just received this sweet new tent from Nemo. This is the Dagger Osmo 2-person backpacking tent. When I was looking online at this tent, I saw the trail weight at 3 pounds 6 ounces. I got it in the mail and it's like, wow. The packed weight of this tent is 4 pounds 2 ounces, while the advertised trail weight is 3 pounds 6 ounces. That is a difference of 12 ounces. But I feel like there's a lot of misconceptions out there about what people are actually buying. For years, I looked at the trail weight and I just assumed that that's what this would be when it was time to take it out on the trail. However, that is not the case. Here's the difference between packed weight and trail weight. Packed weight is essentially the full package from the mail or from the store. It includes a full bag of tent stakes. Here from Nemo, I got 10 of these really, actually pretty great, robust tent stakes. Now, having 10 is more than normal. I think normally you get 8, and oftentimes they're dinky and they're not very good. These are actually really good tent stakes. So the fact that they include those is awesome. Now, the other thing, all these little details aren't really included. This little repair kit for repairing broken poles, all these guy lines, these are grams that do add up. This little baggie, the bag that the whole tent comes in, all the things that you can ditch the bag from the tent poles. All of these things are part of that packed weight. That if you wanted to, you could eliminate this, all of these poles, any things that are like add-on that are not absolutely mandatory. Maybe when you're out on the trail, what you're gonna plan on is either making dead man anchors and not using tent stakes at all, or using rocks or other things. That's how you can shave that weight. But it's important to know that when a company advertises a certain weight on their tent, it might not be telling you the full story. Now, this goes for all gear companies. This isn't just a Nemo thing. I was just really surprised at the difference, a 12-ounce difference between the advertised pack weight and the advertised trail weight. That's the biggest I've seen. And I think the real reason for that is that this is where a lot of that weight savings can come if you want to ditch these tent stakes. However, part of why I even want to buy Nemo in the first place is that they have really bomber, good quality tent stakes that come with the tent. You don't need to add on anything extra with this. The Durston tent is another good example of the advertised weight versus what it is in reality. Now, I truly love this tent, so I'm not knocking any of these companies. This is a very, very ultralight, minimalistic, awesome trail tent. It advertises a weight of 16 ounces. That's 1 pound, and that is incredible, but that doesn't tell the full story because that's not including the tent stakes and it's not including the trekking poles that you really need to prop up the tent. People will argue, and I myself would argue, that you're gonna be bringing those trekking poles anyway. The accurate additional weight is 16 ounces. Just to say, oh, I've got a whole tent in here and it only weighs 16 ounces, well, you still have to carry tent stakes unless you're making certain natural anchors that you leave at every campsite. The MSR Hubba Hubba is another good example of that. This is actually the 3-person tent, and right here it advertises 3 pounds 7 ounces. However, when you actually get it out, this is 3 pounds 13 ounces. That is the actual tent weight that you're probably going to be carrying on the trail. If you are a minimalist and you are somebody who does take ounce counting very seriously, yeah, you're probably ditching some of this stuff. But for the majority of hikers and backpackers out there, they don't even know that there's a difference to be made between that advertised weight, the thing that's right there on the package and very obvious, and what you're actually gonna carry. Is this deceptive on behalf of these tent manufacturers and gear manufacturers? Or is it just that we need to do a little bit more education? I'll leave that one up to you to decide what should be the real weight that you expect these things to weigh when you are actually on the trail. Well, the answer is basically that advertised packaged weight, not the trail weight. Now you can probably subtract a few ounces, at least for this Nemo tent. I don't need all 10 of those tent stakes, and I can probably ditch 1 or 2 of those guy lines. But the reality is that I like how this is packaged, and I'm going to keep it in this sack, so I'm not going to leave behind a lot of those other things, and I'm not going to not carry tent stakes. So that being said, pay attention to that package weight, not the trail weight. That is the real weight of what these things weigh. Now, what do? Do you take all the bits and bobs, or do you leave them at home and go with that minimum trail weight? I'd love to hear, because I'm genuinely curious what the other people in the backpacking community have been doing all along. Maybe I've just been in the dark on all of this. I don't know. That's it for me. I'm Eric Hansen. Thanks so much for watching. I'm gonna go hit the trail.